Would it surprise you if I told you that a song with more than 100 million streams by one of the biggest rappers on earth was recorded on an iPhone? Well, I'm not lying. It actually happened. Drake, who's pretty much the face of rap at this point, released a song called Champagne Poetry, which was recorded on the iPhone and racked up 263 million streams. Why am I telling you this information? Gatekeepers. We got too many gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are pretty much people who are like, oh, there's a right way to do it, there's a wrong way to do it, and you're doing it wrong because you're not doing it in the way I think is right. They can be pretentious at times, but overall, they think that there's one way to do things and you need to do this and that if you want to succeed in a certain area. I can't even tell you how many times people have come up to me like, you need to record in this professional studio in order to succeed. You need to have this, this, and this to succeed. And they were all wrong. If Drake records his stuff on an iPhone, what are you going to tell me, a broke college student who's trying to make it out? Where does gatekeeping come from, though? I think it comes from our schools. Like, we're given a test, we always have a couple of answers, but one of them is right, and the rest are wrong. There's no, oh, I can see that. Oh, that's kind of right. There is a right answer, and the rest are wrong. And we have to figure out the right answer, and we know the rest are wrong. And this has taught us to think convergently about life. Like, there's only one right way to do things, and if that is right, there cannot be another right answer. There cannot be another right pathway. I can understand this in other areas, but especially in a creative area, this doesn't make any sense. The thing about creativity is it's not a right or wrong thing, it's a science. And when I say science, I'm not talking about the science where they give you a multiple choice question and one of the answers is correct. I'm not talking about the science where there's a nerd who pokes you on the shoulder like, this is not the way you do it. I'm talking about the real art of science. The true nature of science is I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying stuff out. Because science is built on hypotheses. We think something's correct and someone else comes and proves that wrong. And we realize, oh my gosh, we've been thinking about this wrong the whole time. It's a constant rethinking. Nothing is always right. We come across a new hypothesis and then we test it. And then it might be right, it might be wrong, but it could change the narrative of what we're doing. We're never right. We're never certain. We're always searching. If you think you're right and you know the right way to do something forever, just remember we thought the earth was flat at one point until someone came over like, it might not be flat. And he was shamed. He was bullied. He was called stupid. Now look at us now. We're all like the earth isn't flat. How many flat earth situations do we got now that we don't even know about? I'm not saying the earth is flat or not. I don't want to get too political on this platform. Point being, we don't know what's right. We don't know what's wrong. We're all here to try and test things out. This doesn't mean being lazy and just doing things entirely the way you want to and saying, oh, it's going to work out because you might not know the right way. It's a mix and match. You have to put effort into what you do. Effort is necessary to maintain the effort of trying new hypotheses, trying new methods, seeing if something works or not. You can't just use it as an excuse to not try anything. I was in that mindset for a very long time where I was like, I'm going to do things entirely my way because eventually it'll work out. No, you need to put effort into just figuring out what works and changing your strategy. That's the difference between laziness and creativity. Laziness is just doing the easiest thing and defending it like, oh, this is the right way to do it. When creativity is constantly evaluating and questioning not what's easy, but what's best. So if you don't have a professional mic or a professional studio, or you're not 6 foot tall or whatever it is, whatever rules you think people have in any of these aspects, whether it be dating or creating, whatever it is, it's not always right. You can do a surprising amount with the resources you have. Don't think that you can't make it because you don't have something. That's what science is, proving something wrong. And if you want examples, here we go. Speed run. Drake recorded that song, Champagne Poetry, on his phone. La Tyler became a XXL freshman and now is a big artist from recording music entirely on his phone mic with a free DAW called BandLab that any of you can download on your phone right now. Kanye West is one of the biggest artists in the world, and he still has songs on his newest albums that don't sound good mix-wise. They sound like they're mixed by a beginner. But one thing in common, they all succeeded using the specific tools they had. They didn't try to follow all the rules. They just did something and it happened to work. So if it can work in one situation, there's no rules saying that it can't work in another situation. Think of it more like a video game where there's a stat total. Let's say you need to get to 100 points. Bottom line, you just need to get to 100 points. It doesn't matter how you get there. If you don't have this one thing that could have given you 25 points, then find another way to make up those 25 points. But as long as you get to 100, you succeed. I remember when I started out, I thought I needed so many things to succeed until I saw examples of artists like Russ make it all on their own. They just managed to provide the value in a different way. And that's what science is. We think there's a right way to do it because someone comes along and proves everyone wrong. And you might not have what everyone else has, but you might be the person that comes along and proves everyone wrong, just like every other person in the history of every single science. Don't be scared if you don't fit in. You might be the one that changes the culture.